those often?
I do. In fact, that
Oh,
is I'm known for
no.
it.
I would never have guessed, Sean.
Fuck you,
But no, the new Pokemon game, I can't stop playing in the wild area. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
No, and that's the thing. Post game, it's so much fun. There's more to do post game in this game with raid battles features than any Pokemon game.
They've done very well with this part of it. Honestly,
So
how are they going to keep it up? I don't know. Maybe they go to Africa next and have wild area there too.
yeah,
Like,
again, for
I
what
want
it's worth,
so much more of this. The open
for what
world,
it's worth,
free camera.
gorgeous this game is, and the amazing amount to do post game, I'm not going to complain. This is a fine game.
No, I love the wild area. Like, if they made a spin-off game that the other games, what are they called? Coliseum XD and those types of games
Yeah,
with wild area like mechanics now, where you just run around like that and you just
yeah.
socialize with online gameplay even. I would be in love with the game because the
and
wild area
the
alone,
wild Pokemon level up with your party, which is amazing.
max level 60 though.
65.
Oh yeah, random. Not every Pokemon.
Not every one of them, no,
Yeah.
but 65. Yeah.
What's the highest level Pokemon you got?
Right now, probably 65. I caught one at level 65.
Really?
Yeah.
I got 100 really easily because I constantly do raid battles.
I'm cycling through Pokemon now. I'm trying to catch a bunch of strong ones, and see how they.
Yeah. Like I mostly sit at the raid battles online,
Yeah.
so and I just join other people's battles I want to join, so I can just sit in the Pokemon Center, catch
Yeah.
a Pokemon,
I'll-
throw it in
I'll-
my
I'll
PC.
probably do that at some point.
Like I do at
But
work.
I really just haven't gotten around to doing that because I'm focused on the post game story.
Yeah. Like when I'm doing like office work and shit, I sit at the desk, have the raid battle open, click a button. It takes five Pokemon to move before it's my move, and I'm done. And
Yeah,
then I click
I
another
can't.
button.
I can't realistically have my Switch out when I'm at work, though. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
maybe on the weekends, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it's just like that type of feeling almost. It's like it's easy to have that type of stuff.
yeah. Talk football.
It's football time.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I recorded for the past 5 minutes or so. So what's the situation? Everyone put their thing in.
I've put all my.
Yeah, I think I finished mine too.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm pretty comfortable with mine.
We definitely have some variation, Joe. You and me.
At the end, yes.
A little bit at the beginning too.
Yeah.
And
Atlanta
in the
versus
middle,
Tampa
too.
Bay.
Yeah, that's the only one until Miami, Cleveland.
Oh, Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Those are two interestingly inconsistent teams.
Exactly.
It's in Atlanta, which you know me. If I can't decide who's gonna win, I go with the home team.
You know.
I've never known Sean to do
I
that.
believe in home field advantage.
I believe that home field advantage will win. I believe that home field advantage will win.
Why'd you pick Tampa then?
What? No, I'm kidding. That's just you.
Yeah, you're being me. I get it. I'm just being an asshole.
I
You,
know.
an asshole?
What?
Why are we assigning so many tropes to me?
Because you're fucked up.
I mean, we are all.
Fucked in a way, except for Matt.
Thanks, Joe.
No problem, Matt. Just calls him as I sees him.
All right. You want me to? You want to start going through the games?
Houston, Indianapolis. It's gonna be one hell of a game.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think it's gonna be close, but when in doubt,
Go with the home team.
go with the home team.
I
Hey,
was
Joe
gonna
and I
say-
both went with the home team. All right.
Go with the
I
quarterback
see.
that is literally unstoppable, except Baltimore. Except
Yeah,
against Baltimore.
Baltimore, apparently.
Yeah, right. Like, what are you supposed
And
to do there?
3 other games this year? Or...
Those were early in the season.
And that was one of them was fucking
I'm
Seattle
not,
match.
I'm just saying, he's not like...
Okay, let's look at the games.
I-
What games has he
Right,
lost?
I understand, but what I'm saying is, like...
So
No,
they
I-
lost
their
week
defense
one
isn't as good as it has been in past. and
versus the
O-line
Panthers.
is
No, look, this game is a toss-up. Choosing Indy, I'm not going to get on you. I'm really not.
I know, but
Yeah.
Joe is.
No, I'm just saying, I'm going with the player that's really good, the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know
Did
he
I
likes
say-
Deshaun.
Also,
You know
I don't. I like Deshaun too. I love
Marlon
him.
Max
Like,
out.
the
That's
freshman year
another
at
big
Clemson,
thing.
I loved him.
there's no
And-
running
but
back.
The question is not
Oh,
Jacoby
that's
Brissett
true.
versus what?
Marlon Max
Marlon
out.
Mack's not playing.
Okay.
Totally forgot
Ty
about that.
is active actually.
Who is?
Ty Hilton.
Yeah. I mean, he was expected to be.
Yeah, but he was also
Marlon
kind
Mack's
of
a big
iffy.
part of that offense, though.
Yeah,
You know what's a weird thing about Denver? They could actually have like a decent record.
Denver.
Yeah, they've got a pretty easy schedule going forward, if I remember correctly.
No. I mean, like like you look at all the games they've lost this year.
It's been close.
They could have a good record. I'm not saying that makes them a good team,
Yeah,
but they could have a good record.
well, that's fair. It's kind of like Buffalo. They're not actually that
Joe
great.
is
They just had an
picking
easy schedule.
Miami,
I'm picking Miami.
and I'm not picking my Jets.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So yeah, Indy versus Houston is going to be. It could go either way. I go home team when that happens. That's me. Joe, you like Deshaun Watson, yeah? So that's why you're going Houston.
He's a great player. I love him. He's a lot
He
like
is.
Lamar Jackson. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league right now. Just
After
as a
another
player.
year, I think Watson builds on consistent going forward.
Oh, God, yeah.
And star we all want him to be.
He's gonna be great.
Yeah.
He's always gonna be great too. Hopefully.
Carolina in New Orleans. I don't think any of us need to explain why New Orleans most likely going to win that game.
Yeah.
They're the better team by eons.
Yeah, and at home. Honestly, good. I'd use the New Orleans defense as a streaming option this week, especially with how bad Carolina was last week.
Oh yeah.
I don't see New Orleans losing another game as the season goes on. They lost a fluke to Atlanta, and I think they went, okay, we're not losing again.
I'm not sure how
I don't know.
how that works.
Atlanta changed their defensive play calling to their defensive coordinator away from Dan Quinn. So that's why their defense has been almost unstoppable recently.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. So
And that is why I have them beating Tampa Bay.
yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta has looked good these past 2 games.
Yeah. I honestly think they're the better team.
When was Julio Jones's last receiving touchdown?
Week
7
5?
last year.
Week 2.
Week 2, really?
Yeah.
I thought
Week
he had
3?
one since then.
Week 2 or 3?
I
One
thought
of
he had
those
one
two.
since then. Damn.
No.
The funny thing is he keeps, but he just can't seem to score.
No, he's a great player, but he just
That was
can't.
the same thing last year.
It really
Yeah.
was.
You just can't. He can't finish.
It's not even that he doesn't get red zone targets.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
also
weird 'cause
Ridley
he's fucking huge.
and Hooper have been good too.
He's honestly been it's not like he's not getting red zone targets because they aren't finishing in the red zone. The Atlanta offense has been good all year outside of Matt Ryan's turnover problems, but they score and they.
Yeah.
It's just Julio doesn't get involved in that scoring.
And they try to run it in with bad running backs and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah, what the hell's happened to Devontae Freeman?
injured, and then just bad.
Yeah, and when he's played, he's just been terrible.
Right.
I truly couldn't answer that question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he kind of just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, he disappeared after the 2016 season. He just disappeared slowly.
Wow, that's crazy. So, yeah, it's been since week 3 since Julio scored.
Yeah.
And he actually had 4 touchdowns in his first 3 games.
Yeah. What happened?
And despite having 150 Seattle, he didn't find the end zone.
Yeah. What happened? Where did he go? Just disappear like poof.
And yet he's
I think-
still a
I think
top
he's
10
still
wide
in
receiver
the-
because of the amount of yardage he gets.
Yeah. It's just he's all there with no upside.
Yeah, his ceiling just isn't very high a lot of the time.
It's like DJ Moore having a lot of yardage but no touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like the
There's
opposite of
unfortunately a
Aaron
lot of number 1 options that just tend not to be red zone targets because a lot of 20 want to look for their tight ends. Look at Austin Hooper this year. My God.
Yeah, it's a shame he got injured.
He might play this week.
Might? Really?
Yeah, he's currently listed as questionable, and if he practices in any capacity tomorrow, it's likely he plays. But as of right now, he's not projected to play because he hasn't.
Yeah.
But there's no official word from Atlanta.
Okay. That's somewhat good news.
In any case, I think the Atlanta off powerful enough to at least get by the Tampa Bay abysmal Tampa Bay defense. And if their defense steps up the way it did the last couple of games, Tampa Bay isn't exactly a careful team either. They turn the ball over a lot, so I think Atlanta pulls it out at home.
Jameis Winston is still a top 10, I think, quarterback this year.
Fantasy wise, yes.
With the
Yeah,
most
he's
interceptions.
Top 5 in turnovers, maybe top 2.
No, he's number 1.
Yeah,
He's the worst quarterback this year in turnovers.
Yeah, in terms of turnovers.
Yeah.
Who's second?
I don't know. I don't have the stats up. I just have that off memory. Stats.
Oh, okay. I would think it's like Daniel Jones or something like that.
Jones turns the ball over like twice a game, but Winston will every other week.
Interceptions. 18. And then Rivers. With 14.
Yeah, Rivers is bad this year.
Wait. 18 turnovers or 18 interceptions?
18 interceptions. I cannot tell you how many.
Jameis Winston has 18 interceptions on this.
He had 4 last week.
Like Phillip Rivers.
Sorry, he had 3 last week and a fumble. My bad.
18 interceptions on a season. And what is he in fantasy? He's like a top.
Yeah.
Fantasy quarterback?
He's like a top 5 fantasy quarterback because he throws for over 300 yards a game.
Right.
And
like,
average is 307, and he has 19 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he
Imagine-
throws the football, and that doesn't even count as rushing touchdowns, but he turns the ball over.
Guys, imagine what he'd be like without the turnovers.
Yeah, if he had any
fantasy-wise.
discipline, he'd be a superstar.
People with the most touchdowns, 23. He's tied 4th for touchdowns.
Who?
Jameis Winston. And he's 3rd for yards.
Like, how insane is that? He's top 4 in both of the main categories, but he's got so many interceptions that nobody cares.
And what's his rushing like? Rushing. I can't find that shit because I'm
like if you notice Tampa Bay's offensive stats in terms of points per game are up there. Up so many points because their possessions end so quickly.
Lose games, it's like 40-39 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll lose games where they'll score 28 points constantly.
What's their record? Do they have 3 wins? Is it?
I'm not actually sure.
What, Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
3-7.
Bring up these standings.
We have 2 3-7 teams facing off this week.
They're both 3-7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evans against the Saints since he had 0 catches in their first
Wait, so
game.
you
Joe,
think-
why did you choose Tampa?
I think that offense is just too potent recently. They stopped using a running back committees and started committing to one running back. Their offense is just starting to click a bit more.
But they still lose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like offense has ever been their problem.
So do you guys think that this is going to be a close game?
Yes.
It could be. Or one team could completely run away with it because of how volatile both teams are.
What's the line on this game right now?
It's a good question. Hang on.
Let me get this. I think 51.5.
No, not total
Yeah.
points.
Oh,
No, that's the over.
4.
Yeah.
4. It's 4.
220 favoring Atlanta.
Yeah. Really? I see the spread as 4. I guess. Yeah.
That's the spread.
Okay.
I think he's talking the money line.
No, I meant the spread. Sorry.
Oh, never mind. My bad.
Get fucked upon.
When you say the line, I
Right.
assume you mean money.
Yeah, you're right. But why would I care about the money right now? I
Fair.
want words,
Matt wants
you
to
know?
start betting. You
No,
know,
not really.
betting's illegal. Sports betting is legal in PA now.
Devonta Freeman has 107 carries for 371 yards this season. That's disgusting.
That is horrible,
Wow.
objectively and factually.
And he doesn't have a rushing score.
Really? What was his average draft position?
I'm not even sure. I'm glad I started there.
Fucking high.
I'm kind of curious.
And it's crazy because Mike Evans has 993 yards and 7 touchdowns on the season, but he's got like all of those touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah.
Those yards in those same 2 games.
Yeah, let's go through the ADP of top players that are now just big failures.
Also, can we just talk about how
About what?
Michael Thomas is a god?
He is a god,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy I have him. I love him.
I love him, and I want to take him from you so bad. He's my favorite player in the NFL.
No, he's so
Well, I could
quiet
take him from
too. He's so nice to people and just like he's such an actual person.
When he says something, you know he means it because he doesn't say a lot.
He does
But
not say anything.
There's one thing that he says consistent: can't guard him, and that's because you can't guard him.
Yeah, oh, I love him.
I love Michael Thomas. In case you can't tell.
I forget he's only like what, a 4th-year guy? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
26. Can't guard Mike.
Devonta Freeman was the 33 overall pick, 33rd average, third round. Devonta Freeman.
okay.
Do you know who's been one of the more who else has kind of been disappointing this year? James Conner.
He's been getting hurt, and
then he
that
doesn't have a
Steelers
quarterback.
offense just isn't the same without Ben.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see one too. Matt, Juju.
What? Oh yeah. I mean, any Pittsburgh offense, like
Yeah, like there's no way we could have known anybody who drafted a
Right.
Pittsburgh player.
Oh, I think
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
will agree with this one. What's this? Where Antonio Brown.
Come on.
did anyone actually? What was his average draft position?
Second round.
People were still drafting him in the second round. He
Seriously?
wasn't on a team.
No, he was.
He was on the Raiders.
Oh yeah, most people don't do their drafts the same time we do. I keep forgetting that.
Well, I didn't believe that he was actually going to play a game with the Raiders.
You knew
Like-
that?
Well, no, I just had a feeling something was not going to go well.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people had that inclination for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Trying to see Lamar Jackson. I picked up off free agency. That's great.
I drafted Russell Wilson, so
Yeah, but Matt, I didn't draft Lamar Jackson. The best.
right. I drafted
quarter-
Russell Wilson in like the 10th round. So
Yeah.
Most of the time, quarterbacks don't go until late.
Yeah,
That's
but
just
still, like, I'm getting more points than Ben got off of Mahomes last year.
okay.
He's going to set a new record for fantasy points.
He might.
No, he,
Well, I mean, his rushing. I mean, it's all comes from the rushing.
Yeah.
He runs for like 80 yards and a touchdown a game while also getting some pretty average quarterback numbers. That's going to
Yeah.
contribute to a lot of stats.
Yeah.
He's averaging 27 points a game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's the biggest reason I'm winning games.
And it's all
As-
been happening recently, which is why you've made
Did
such
you-
a resurgence in the league.
Have you lost any games recently, Joe?
Fuck off, Matt. That's the only game I've lost recently.
Matt,
And
your
you
team's just
thought you're gonna lose. Matt,
Your team
you
is
were
so
ready
did
to fucking give up that week. If I had,
yeah.
if I could have had you sign a piece of paper saying I give up, you would have. You're like, yeah, I give up now.
Listen, I'm
No.
just happy that if I win this week, I clinch a playoff spot, and I'm going up against Sarah, who hasn't set her lineup.
In
Yeah,
weeks.
I wasn't too worried about last week in terms of fantasy going with Sarah.
Like, I'm
Um,
projected to win right now, 103 to 37.
What?
She's only got 6 active players in her lineup,
Yeah,
and one of those players is Devonta Freeman.
Hey, no, he's not active
Yeah.
though.
Oh, that might be why she's projected so low. But that's what I mean, like 6 active players, as in players that aren't on bye. and one of them's injured.
I just hope one of my players goes out, like Debo Samuel. Maybe I'll move Devontae Parker up
Wait, what?
so I
You
can
want
pick up
one
a
of your guys
kicker.
to get injured?
Yeah, I want to fucking put a kicker in. My kicker's on bye, and I'll drop in the number 1 kicker this year.
Who's the number 1 kicker?
Just drop
Harrison
a crap
Butker.
player on the end of your bench. It's not like you need him anymore.
Carlos
Yeah.
Hyde, Michael Gallup, Sony Michelle.
I don't know who's picking up Gallup at this point.
Yeah.
He's averaging 10 points a game.
Well, who are you playing this week? Let's have the real.
Darius. So it's
What's the
actually
projected score
needed
right
to
now?
win.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, yeah, you want to start a kicker. You don't want to put a buy player on your team.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a kicker last week who basically got. I played the Browns kicker and he got 0 points. So.
Ooh,
I'm predicted to beat Darius 98-91.
Does he have
I
his
would
lineup up?
drop Michael Gallup.
Probably, right?
What
Like
about
number
Carlos Hyde?
22? Carlos likely been, although he's kind of come on recently, so I'm not going to say nothing about Carlos Hyde.
I mean, also his game started already.
That's true. Sonny Michel's not really necessary for you at this point, is he?
No.
You've got Chubb and Elliott for your running back slots. When are you ever going to use Sonny Michel for the rest of the year?
Joe, you could try. Honestly, you could pull a trade with like Marlena to get like a 2-for-1. Within the next
Especially
2 days,
considering
and
what she
then-
offers to people half the
She
time.
declines every single trade I send her. That she's like, Sony Michelle, Michael Gallup for who she have. Like, I was like, Christian Kirk or something. She's like, no. I'm like, what?
You still on Christian Kirk, Joe?
Where did Debo Samuel come from? What the hell?
His points?
Yeah, all of a sudden he's got like 112 and 134 yards in two straight games.
Yeah, that's right.
I was pissed, Joe. I wanted to pick him up. But...
Debo, you're looking at him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Yes, the one problem with having a good year is I'm always like last on the waiver wire.
Yeah,
That's not how that works, Matt.
I know.
That's not how that
It's okay.
works.
I still have Aaron Jones and
No,
Christian
you'll be
McCaffrey
fine.
and-
you
I
were,
hate my wide. I know. Well, then like my wide receivers, like Juju was supposed to be good, lost his quarterback. Galloway was supposed to be good, lost his quarterback.
Want to make a trade, Matt?
You gonna give me Michael Thomas?
I have Michael Gallup, which is still an improvement for you.
that is true. That's a
I
fact.
don't know. It sounds like you're dropping him. So
I'm not gonna drop him at this point, Matt. I'm not gonna drop him unless I get some trade out of it.
you're just gonna
Maybe.
play ticket.
Hear me out. Maybe
I'll.
if you gave him a certain Marist alumni.
Nope.
No, I would never do that to Matt. Matt,
You
don't
would never
worry.
do that to Matt. Matt would never accept that.
How's Austin Eckler doing?
What?
Austin Eckler's doing okay.
He's
Yeah,
a very
he's
8 to
he
9
stayed
point.
relevant,
He stayed
Yeah.
relevant, and that's the bare minimum.
and he
No, it's-
caught 100 this game.
Right. He's great as like when someone's on a bye.
Yeah,
How
and
much
he's,
is
he's probably the best backup running back in the National Football League.
how much you selling Jarvis Landry for? If I give you two decent,
He said selling.
What?
if I
He
give
said
you,
selling.
yeah, I said selling. How much you selling Jarvis Landry for? If I give you two decent wide receivers?
Oh,
Sure.
wait a second,
Like,
Matt. When did you put this bold prediction? I just noticed that.
I put it while we were discussing.
Oh
Remember I was
wow!
in the specific
Whoa,
club.
that's a lot.
It's bold.
That's bold.
That's
bold.
bold.
That's very bold.
It is.
I like it. I like it, Matt. I like it.
I like
I
it
like
a
it
lot. That's a good one.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'll give you Michael Gallup and Sony Michelle for Jarvis Landry. Matt?
Yeah, I would do that.
Really?
Let
Cool.
me I think I would.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Sent.
I can offer trades too. I didn't know. Wow. Okay, hang on. So,
Fuck, then I have to drop someone.
that's a
fair point.
Oh.
I'll say Jonathan Williams, but his game started.
All right, enough trade negotiations for now, though. We still got some games to talk about. I assume we all think Chicago is beating the Giants.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how could?
Like, and there's no discussion as to whether the Giants have a chance because they're just going to get stomped by Chicago's defense.
Yeah, but
I think they have a chance because I don't know Trubisky. I still don't trust him.
Who do you think is going to start, Trubisky or Daniels?
Oh, it's okay. Trubisky.
Wait, can I put that as my bold prediction? Daniels starts.
You could.
Yeah, I would accept that.
Chase
Yeah.
Daniels plays more. Or or should I say finishes? No injury.
Say Mitch Trubisky gets benched. How about that?
Yeah, Mitch gets benched.
Whether it be at the start of the game or sometime during the game.
And it has to be non-injury.
Yes. Yeah. Non-injured. Yes.
Well, unless it's like last week, oh, the hip hurt.
No, he was benched.
Okay,
That was a
yeah,
bench.
I think we can all use our common sense to
show me when he hurt that hip.
exactly.
Show me. He looked fine. I
Yeah.
saw like a meme like Instagram page that was like fake NFL quotes. He goes yeah, coach looked at me and said he's like you're injured.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because there was never a point where he like was on the ground as if he was hurt.
No, and first of all that's the stupidest time to bring
Yeah.
in your backup.
It was like a one possession game. Mitch was
Yeah.
just back. That was it.
Right.
Eh,
I don't know, man.
If it's like that, we all know.
Yeah. No, that was not a hit
Oh,
thing. I'm very
God.
convinced of that.
Okay, cool.
All right, I like that bold prediction.
Mitch part.
Um,
Yeah, let's
yeah,
see if
that's awesome. That's a really fun.
I had a
like
better
that.
one earlier, but I forget what it was.
Now, moving on, Buffalo versus Denver. You were talking about Denver could have won more games potentially.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I don't think it matters. Buffalo beats them.
Yeah. Buffalo's a perfectly decent team.
Yeah, and we all agree on that at this point, right? Buffalo's winning.
Yeah.
So moving.
I mean, also their
maybe.
yeah. Go.
Yeah, I really don't see it.
Now,
Well, Buffalo has
our week of whether Cincinnati even has a chance to win a game.
one of the best
No.
defenses in the league. But no, let me go back to the Buffalo thing.
Who are they
Buffalo-
playing again?
Pittsburgh.
No, Buffalo's playing Denver.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Buffalo is one of the best quarterback defenses, like fantasy wise.
It's like
Yeah.
everybody said quarterback. I'm like I don't think whichever Allen they have and Joe Flacco is a good quarterback duo.
No, they just
their
have
defense
shitty.
tends to shut down opposing quarterbacks.
Yeah, and they have
I mean, their
shitty
defense has always been
quarterbacks.
pretty good.
So who's gonna win? Quarterbacks that are shitty, or one of the better pass defenses in the league?
Yeah, I think Buffalo ends up scoring points with their defense this week. Same with Chicago.
Chicago.
Ooh, I have a bold prediction. Hang on a second.
Ooh. Well, let's see if it's on the same tier as ours, Matt. I had a really good one earlier, but I can't remember what it was.
What do you think?
3 different teams get defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, not 3 defensive touchdowns. 3 different teams get defensive touchdowns.
I kind of like that.
I can.
I kind of like that.
These are creative bold predictions we have.
Yeah, I think we all kind of got a little creative this week.
We did.
Let's pat all of ourselves on the back.
Well, that's a lot of effort.
I can hear it on Joe's end.
Yeah, I know. You think that was me after I still complained about how that's a lot of effort?
Matt, are you not that flexible, boyo?
I'm just lazy.
Matt, that's an unhealthy attitude you have towards that.
Real quick though, this is one of those weeks where Cincy has a chance. One of the very
Who are they
No.
playing? I keep forgetting.
Pittsburgh.
They have a chance.
few. They have a chance. They're not gonna win. Pittsburgh's
They're
gonna
not
win.
going to.
But Cincy this is one of the few weeks where Cincy even has a prayer of winning a game.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like this one and the Miami game.
Are you not? You're not including the Jets game?
Ha!
Genuinely, I think the Jets' defense is too good for Cincy to score on them.
Who are the Jets playing this week?
Oakland.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think it could be interesting.
It's going to be it's going to be interesting in my opinion.
The Jets have a better chance to beat Oakland than Cincy does to beat Pittsburgh.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's move on. Cleveland at home against Miami. Joe, you picked Miami. Please explain.
Fitz magic.
Fitzmagic. Honestly, look at Devontae Parker. They actually have somewhat of a good team. I hate it, but that's more of
not
a
get carried away.
bold. It's more bold, and if anything, I don't know what to say besides.
No.
I'm just throwing that out there for fun.
You want the upset, so you're.
I'm rooting for the upset. It's like, what's
Listen.
that thing that Lynn was really into in college about, like, investing against oil companies because that's how.
Divestment?
Yeah, because that's definitely how it works.
I mean,
it's
don't give investment money to oil companies, and oil companies
exactly
suddenly have economic incentive to be greener.
yeah.
But they're oil companies, so
this
that's
is-
probably not going to happen.
This is my divestment attempt.
I really don't
Wait
think it's
a
the same
second.
thing. No, Joe, no.
That's not how this works.
This is my
No.
attempt, guys. This is my
This,
attempt.
this is not anywhere near comparable to divestment.
This is not an attempt. I don't. Yeah. No,
This
Joe.
is my attempt.
What? No.
That analogy doesn't fit at all.
No.
It's my attempt.
I feel like you just did that because you wanted to like make fun of some.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Chemical.
was an anti-liberal comment for the sake of an anti-liberal comment.
Yeah.
Only 85%.
Okay, boomer.
Got a problem with that? Tell me, who has more trade jobs? Who's
Huh?
gonna fix your fucking plumbing?
Me when I Google it.
No, that's all the boomers are. All the fucking boomers are the fucking plumbers. Go fuck off.
No, real talk though. I know multiple people who are plumbers who are my age.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
I-
man.
A lot of
It's
people
almost
from my
not-
high
If
school
you don't
are
like school, if,
a lot of the people from my high school are they went to trade school rather than college.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Thank God.
that's so smart for people.
But
Yeah.
no one does it.
No, they don't.
Oh god. It makes me cry.
Like some people just don't like school, and that's fine. But don't
Yeah, it's not-
go and pay for your education.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like trade school's the way to guarantee yourself a profession without having to go through the inordinate amount of debt that college entails.
Right, and then people don't realize how much money these jobs
Yeah.
can make.
They're not
please.
quite as high potential as, say, having a master's degree in
Philosophy?
IT or computer science, but
Right, but you're guaranteed like solid
Yeah.
money for the rest
and
of
your
life.
debt to income coming out of trade school is certainly not
Yeah.
going to get you denied car loans. Myself,
Trying to buy a car, Sean?
I actually am, and it's not like they were actually denying me because I don't pay any rent. So I could, but I have to go through extra steps to get approved because my debt to income is so high.
Yeah.
Because college.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
boy.
For all you kids watching, go to trade school.
Yeah.
So I get it, Joe. Not really comparable to divestment. Go to trade school, kids. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Next,
Oakland
Oakland.
Jets.
It's gonna be one
I
of
mean,
It's gonna be a good game. I'm excited for this one.
I think it's gonna be close, actually.
I think it'll be a good game. As a Jets fan, the one thing I'm looking for is to continue to see Darnold.
Grow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not much else to say about that.
yeah. And for what it's worth, Oakland's defense is one that Darnold could show up against.
I mean, it's a very young defense, you know.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, also,
I
you see
would
what?
be worried if he did not. I think this is
Yes,
a
I would.
really good benchmark game to see what Darnold is ready for.
Yeah, I mean, as I was watching Colin Cowherd, and as you said, Darnold just so, there's one or two throws a game that he just is like, what were you doing there? And
Yeah.
against, I don't know if you ever saw his pick against Washington, but it was basically like, yeah, Sam, I don't know what you saw there, buddy.
Dude, he was just looking for he saw the ghosts.
No, the Ghost Joe, that's so old. He hasn't seen
Still
the
funny.
Ghost. It's still funny, but he doesn't see Ghost anymore.
A lot of people like to chalk a lot of these throws up to miscommunication, but when it happens this consistently, if it's miscommunication, it's entirely on his end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my favorite scapegoat. I think a lot of it was Gase's fault.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck Gase.
I think that he's not doing, really the great job.
Yeah.
Just wasn't doing a great job progressing him. Hopefully, these past 2 games shows that they are actually improving. But
Yeah. I was talking to a coworker recently about like kind of the organizational problems the Jets are having, and a lot of it is like Darnold was brought into the organization with a different coach and a different GM, and a lot of times GMs don't like the quarterback if it's not their guy. Like the quarterback,
Yeah,
if it's
well,
not their guy. And the GM was brought in last, so Gase isn't even the GM's guy. So they all hate each other.
yeah, the whole thing is they hired Gase, and then Gase didn't like our GM, so then he fired. So he claims he didn't, but I don't know how else you would fire your GM, a month before the season after you've drafted everyone.
Yeah.
Unless your coach had a problem. And I think that I think everyone can see the potential that Darnold has.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy to try and build around and try and develop. I mean, he might not be, the greatest quarterback of all time, but he'll be a solid. I think he has the potential to be a solid franchise quarterback.
I think that's true, but it's not going to happen if he doesn't have the organizational support he did when he started.
You're right. I do think the organization is behind it. I don't think this. I know it's a new GM.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have hired Gase if they didn't think that he was. I would hope that they didn't hire Gase. If he wasn't excited about working with Darnold. I mean, the quote he said after being hired, he's like, "I've never gotten to develop a quarterback this young before, so hopefully."
Yeah. Last question I'll ask about the Jets: does Sam Darnold, in fact, look like a Lego police officer?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Courtesy of YouTube channel Chiseled Anonymous on that.
Oh, chiseled. Okay, yeah. I got that. I get that.
Okay.
I was getting a haircut once, and someone's like, "You look kind of like Sam Darnold." I was like, "Is that?"
Wait a minute.
Dude, you're good enough to get mono.
God damn it! Only the Jets quarterback would get fucking mono.
Yeah, right?
That is
Like,
true. Okay.
How do you fucking get mono?
Moving on, so Matt does not have an aneurysm.
Fucking mono.
Detroit at Washington. Joe, why did you choose Washington?
I chose Washington.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes,
what
yes,
that
you
was.
Are you changing it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was about to get on you.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I know Detroit doesn't have. Is Stafford officially ruled out this week? Do we know?
No, but he's never officially ruled out because they're refusing to admit that it's a broken back. I dropped him.
Ooh, yeah.
There's no way he sees the field. They're like, it's game to game, and I'm like, you're only saying that because you might have some playoff prayers.
Yeah. I mean, if
But
they
that
beat
being
Dallas
said,
this week, yeah.
Washington is a dumpster fire team.
Oh yeah.
They might be the
Hopefully-
worst team in the
yeah.
NFL.
No. Cincinnati.
Second worst.
Honestly, I think Cincinnati's a better team than Washington. They just haven't played
I
each
don't
other.
think so.
I don't think so.
Washington is a dumpster fire.
Especially since
Yes.
yeah.
And
When Alex Smith got injured last year, it started this.
I was kind of hopeful to see Dwayne Haskins be decent, but did you read about he was caught on mic pleading with his offensive lineman to help him because he was constantly getting pressured because our offensive line is garbage, and they just didn't pay attention to him. They just turned away from him.
Well, the whole thing with they said that we're not gonna play Haskins this year where he's not ready, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then literally the middle of a game when he did no prep, it's like, all right, go play against, I forget, was it the Patriots or no?
It was the Patriots.
Okay, if it was I'm just like, this.
Well,
is
they brought him in against the Giants at one point, pretty early in the season.
Yeah, they just have handled that situation so terribly.
Yeah, it's not Dwayne Haskins' fault. It's not really any individual player's fault. They have a bad team with very little talent on the roster, and an organization that has no idea how to handle their young guys the right way. So not only do they lose a lot of games, we're wondering what the hell they're doing with Haskins and any of their other young guys.
They should just sit Haskins at this point. I mean,
I agree.
Putting him out there with no O-line is just.
He got sacked 6 times last week, and I don't think there was a single play he wasn't hurried.
I mean, someone like Darnold, who at least he was known for being able to extend plays and throw on the run.
Yeah.
Or someone obviously a more accomplished quarterback like a Russell Wilson, who can work without an O-line. But I mean, all Haskins did in college was a pocket quarterback and sat in the pocket. And when you're Ohio State, you probably have a pretty good O-line. And
yeah, and there's no worse combination than who hasn't had a full year in the system yet, and a bad offensive line.
Right.
His progression is naturally going to be slower because he's a fucking rookie. That's every rookie ever. And his O-line doesn't give him the time to do anything with it.
Yeah. Especially coming from a pure pocket guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, even Daniel Jones has been better this year, despite not being a very good passer, because he can extend plays with his legs a little bit.
Right.
But I don't know which one of them is going to be better in the future, but it won't matter if Haskins ends up getting snapped in half because his offensive line is so bad.
Right. I mean, he could end up being kind of like Rosen. Like, Rosen, I think, could have had...
Yeah.
I'm not saying I think Rosen had potential, but just the way he was managed in Arizona and Miami...
Well, I think he still does. He's only in his second year.
That's true, but, I feel like I don't know who's going to give him a chance at this point.
Yeah. Which is kind of unfair to him. It really is.
Right,
I think Washington would.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway, enough about that dumpster fire organization that needs to change their name. Detroit wins. Seattle at Philly. Matt and I both have Seattle. Joe, you've got Philly.
Philly's Philly.
Yeah, you got to choose your team, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's... You don't have to.
The Jets?
It's
Tell
just...
me this, which team's the better team?
Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle's better.
But it's in Philly, Joe. But it's in Philly.
It is in Philly.
So, are you going to change your pick now?
No, I'm
Did
really
you not. Realize it was, did you not realize it was in Philly?
No. Seattle's too good.
Philly just has this thing about them where they just do this, and it's like... we're still in this... We're still in the fight, guys. We're still in the fight here. Everyone's like, no, you're not. Wins a big game.
Don't worry,
how the
you're
fuck?
tied for the division lead, and Dallas is going to lose to New England. You're fine.
Yeah, if we win this game, it would be huge, though.
This would be a huge win for Philly. I don't think that matters. Seattle's too good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just see Russell just tearing your secondary apart.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping.
If only
just hoping that he...
Divestment. Matt is the one going with Jacksonville this year. That this week.
Yeah,
That's,
shocker.
You know, they took Minshew out. Just...
Yeah, so you're off their wagon?
I'm off their wagon.
Like Big Dick Nick?
He
I'm
was
a
never
big
choosing
fan.
Jacksonville because of Jacksonville. It was always for Minshew.
Yeah. It was that Minshew mania, dude.
Both of these teams have played better ever since making...
Inconsistent.
What happened?
Both teams are just so inconsistent.
Yes, that is true. And again, this is one of those 50-50 games. Guess why I chose Tennessee?
They're home.
Yeah.
Hey!
I mean, who did Jacksonville lose to last week? Someone good, right?
It's a good question.
I wanna
Shark
say-
had 2 touchdowns, so I was happy.
Of course.
Let me see. Where are you, Jacksonville? Hey. Who is is favored to win the game and have a better record? They lost to the Colts by 20.
Yeah, I
think Barry's going to come back in, prove that he's a starter.
Yes, I don't know if that's
Mariota's coming back in.
Keep
Why
in
would-
mind, Tennessee beat the Chiefs last week by 3.
That was all. Yeah. But Jacksonville actually has a defense.
Yeah, the Chiefs had a better offense, though. A way better offense.
Yeah.
Of course, that offense scored 30. Either way, a 3-point victory
It's still victory.
I know.
against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a better team than the Jaguars.
I don't
Both
know.
games at home for Tennessee.
It's time for Nick Foles to show
He
up.
could legitimately make that team so good that the 4-6 record isn't really representative of them. I don't think so. I don't think he's past. So I don't know. I got Tennessee winning.
I see. I have eyes.
I respect that choice. I'm
Still,
glad Matt
it's
does have
going to be a
eyes,
fun game. So I don't necessarily blame you for choosing Jacksonville. It's not a crazy pick like Miami is, Joe.
Yeah. But you know, Sean, divestment.
though. Divestment. I believe it's a thing.
Dallas at New England. We all got New England.
Yeah.
Hard
I
to
think,
pick
I think it could be a good game.
could be. I'm not
I
sure it
think
will
I-
be.
I
I think New England's defense is going to go nuts.
I don't think that's I don't think Dak's not a big turnover guy, and you have you have a really good O line. I
No,
think
not
that's
necessarily in terms of turnovers. I think they're going to get to him. They're going to rattle him a little bit.
I don't see that. My bigger thing is that the Cowboys' offense is just so underachieving. Or sorry, not their offense, their defense is still I feel like they have a lot
That's
of talent at every position, yet they gave up their 27 points to a backup quarterback in Detroit. So,
I agree. I think New England's going to pick them apart.
but
On both sides of the football.
I am heavily rooting for the Cowboys.
Cowboy. Fuck off, Matt.
Are you, Sean? Who are you rooting for in that game?
You know, my fantasy team.
Okay.
That's the right
and given
answer.
the amount of Patriots players and their defense that I have in multiple leagues, I'm pretty much just rooting for New England to do well, because if they do well, my fantasy teams do well.
Okay. So
Last
so
bit
really
of
it's a crapshoot for you.
last bit of difference in our picks coming here: Green Bay in San Francisco. I'm the odd man out for once.
You're high on San Fran, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been high on I've been speaking
Yeah,
of
I
my.
know.
I really have been. I've been consistent with my praise of San Fran all
You
year, and that's not going to change at home, even against Green Bay.
Listen. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a great game. I could rival like the Seahawks Niners game.
It could damn well be the best game of the year.
It could be. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man.
He is a bad man, but that
Wow.
San Francisco defense is number 2, and they're having a number 1 defense kind of season. The only reason they're not more number 1 is because the Patriots defense. That San Fran defense is real, and I think it holds Green Bay just enough at bay where they can pull one out at home.
Green
with
Bay?
Jimmy Garoppolo, or porn star Jimmy G, as Chisel Adonis calls him.
Yeah,
They hold him to Green Bay.
Look,
At Green Bay.
I am high enough on San Francisco where I think they can win games even against teams as elite as Green Bay is, especially at home.
Sean, you're not seeing the joke.
All right,
you,
if
you
this was
said.
in Green Bay, who are you picking?
So I'm gonna go against
Oh,
my normal rule and not pick the home team in that.
oh,
instance.
fuck off.
I know. So
I'm
you're just-
I'm that high on San Francisco. I think they're the
Okay.
best team in the NFC. Best team in the NFC.
Boo.
I could accept that argument. I think
He
they're
said
just-
I would not be as confident if the Green Bay. I'd still pick San Francisco, but I would be nervous. Not that I'm not nervous anyway, but not as nervous as I would be.
I like how you're nervous about this team that's like your third team.
But not even like say I have no actual personal investment in Cisco. Like I'm not rooting for them in any way outside of I said they were going to be good at the beginning and no one believed.
You said they would be good before the season started.
I did.
Okay.
Hipster.
Yeah, it really is me showing my hipster side when I go. See, I saw this coming from the beginning.
I
I'm
think that
being
would
pretentious.
be-
I
You
really
fucking losers.
You're lame. You didn't know San Francisco was going to be a playoff team. Yeah, that's basically me.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm riding the San Francisco bandwagon because I've been on it since the beginning of the season. Might even get myself a jersey if they end up in the playoffs. Who knows?
Who?
Ooh, yeah, who? I think you should go Bosa.
That's a good. It's a good question.
I vote Bosa.
Okay, I'm gonna get. Don't look at the group chat. I'm gonna write my guess before you use.
Okay.
No, are you?
I have a couple of players in mind, so let's see if you can figure it out.
Okay, I already said mine out loud. Damn.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, really?
I heard him. No.
I think it's a good pick, right, Matt?
Yeah. That's one of the ones I had in mind. Nope. All right. I wrote mine in the group chat, Sean. Who are you thinking?
So it's kind of between a couple of people for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we had that whole conversation about Dante Pettis at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
He's not the one. I just wanted to bring him up because I'm silly. I love Emmanuel Sanders, but he hasn't been on the team long enough. So it's really between my favorite quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, who's clearly better than Tom Brady, and
Wow.
a tight end I've been
Oh, there it is.
singing the praises of for years, George Kittle.
For years.
And you got to go with the guy who you've stuck with through thick and thin. It's George Kittle for me, man.
Fuck yes.
I was gonna think Bosa. That's who I said.
Normally I like my defensive backs, but in this case, when I haven't gotten a piece of merchandise for a tight end since Kevin Boss was the tight end for the Giants.
Who? Exactly.
Exactly.
Who
He was
exactly?
number 89. He was Jeremy Shockey's successor back in like 08, 09.
Oh,
Lasted for a
jeez.
little while and then never came back.
Yeah. Oh, that's why he's so quiet. Cause I remember Jeremy Shockey, that piece of shit. I fucking hated him.
Hey, he won a
He
Super
was
Bowl.
so good.
Um,
Just inherently
and
like.
that sweater, I think I still have it somewhere. It had the number 8 shirt and it just said "The Boss" at the top, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Hmm.
And then he never came back. So I'm gonna get an actual stud star tight end jersey if I get the chance.
Hey, I have one of those.
Well, look how smart I am.
Nah, I mean, for what it's worth, it's one of the obvious choices. It was either him or Jimmy G for me.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm better than Tom Brady G.
If he beats Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, I mean, I would do a nice dance.
I might have to change which jersey I buy.
I think if the Ravens win, I'll buy a Ravens jersey.
If the Jets win, I'll buy a Jets jersey.
Fuck off,
If
Matt.
the Ravens win, I'll get my brother a Ravens jersey. He's actually a Ravens fan.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Lamar
If-
Jackson though.
You think so? Let's say the Saints win. Do you think Drew Brees goes out?
Yeah.
I would retire on a high note if I'm him.
Okay.
Oh God, yeah. Without a
Thank
doubt.
God he is due after the last 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mom knows Drew Brees deserves another Super Bowl after the way he's been screwed over twice in a row.
Well, the first
So
time
my
wasn't really
question-
screwed
my
over as
question
bad
is-
defense.
The first time was his defense's fault, not anybody else's. It was the team. The team lost to that game.
It
Absolutely.
wasn't even the defense's fault. It was one guy's fault.
That's true. Either way, the point is they absolutely should not have lost that game, and the only reason they did was because of some nonsense.
Okay, my question is, so thinking of last year's game, current NFL rules, or current replay, the way replay is going this year, do
Oh,
you think
pass
that
interference?
pass interference gets overturned in that game?
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's the thing. Based on the way it's being enforced right now, no, it doesn't, because the refs
Right.
are being stupid.
Right, like
Like
I
it's
mean-
got to be a protest at this point. They've got to be protesting the rule with the calls are not overturning.
yeah,
It didn't affect the outcome of last week's Baltimore-Houston game.
because
But
it was a
that-
blowout, but
That call didn't make in the end zone was so obvious. Like,
Yeah.
so obvious to the point that whichever ref decided that wasn't pass interference needs to be fired. Like, outright fired. That was a disgusting no call.
yeah, I mean at this point, I mean the fact anyone tries to waste a challenge on pass interference anymore,
Especially after last week.
I just
But something needs to change, whether it's referee attitude or getting rid of referees at this point.
Yeah.
It's
That'd
not
be
the
an-
rules' fault that these things aren't getting overturned. Referees are being stupid.
Yeah.
But,
A whole
yeah,
bunch of
it's
And that's my football rant today.
just today.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
just
said.
today. I've ranted about that before, but not on this podcast.
That's fair. Yeah, it's. I mean, I didn't like this whole challenging pass interference. I thought we would get way too nitty gritty with it, but the opposite has actually happened,
Yeah.
where we're just not.
Yeah. And,
doing
and,
it.
and if too many got overturned, that'd be bad too, but for very
Right.
different reasons. In this case,
Right.
it's not like the rule just isn't clear enough. It's some kind of form of referee protest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
it's
Now that we're off that, I want to be off that. I want to talk about that negativity.
okay.
Baltimore beats the Rams, even though it's in LA, because the Rams are a worse team than they were last year.
No, just the Ravens are just
It
that
shows
much
the
better though
promise.
too.
If the Rams were still the Super Bowl last year, I would have picked them in this game.
No.
Even with Baltimore being as good as they are. And you know
Well,
why?
At least last game they started running the ball. right?
Yeah, and look what happened. It's almost like Gurley's been good all year. They just haven't used him. Gurley has never been the problem. They just haven't given him touches. He got the most touches he got all season, and he put on a show. It's almost
Okay.
like he should have been getting touches from the beginning.
All right, your opinion? Do the Rams sneak into the playoffs?
No.
I don't think that they don't have the leverage to do so at this point. Their schedule's
If they
too
were-
tough.
If they were in the AFC, would they make the playoffs?
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. But the
I mean, the
NFC
fact
just
that-
has too many high record teams that are going to be wild card teams. I can't see them be. Right now, my projection is one of the top two NFC East teams ends up being in the 6th seed for the playoffs, and I don't see the Rams having a better record than either.
Wait, the NFC.
NFC East.
You think the NFC East is getting getting two into the playoffs?
I think the Eagles and the Cowboys both, I think, strong enough, especially with games
There's no
against the
sh-
Redskins and Giants left.
Yeah, but they're 2
Miami.
games behind the second wild card.
Okay, let's actually look at this. Okay. Put the game down, Joe.
The two wild cards are going to be Seattle and Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota's not in the lead in their division, are they?
No, that would be Green Bay.
That is true. Never mind. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And Minnesota has been that good, especially with the running game.
Huh? Who has their running?
Shut up, shut up, shut up,
Who said he was going to be good this year? And you're like,
Shut up.
ah, nah, fam.
shut up. Listen, I was right about San Francisco. I can't be right about everything.
The Eagles are currently the 8th seed.
Yeah, they're behind the Rams. I think the Eagles finish with a better record.
Yes, I agree with that.
But
Oh,
at this point,
8-3.
make the playoffs. Just looking at Minnesota's schedule, going forward.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think the Eagles are gonna make it.
Yeah,
Look at
Minnesota
that.
has 3 more wins on the schedule with the Lions, the Chargers, and I think the Bears.
I think the NFC is just too good this year.
It is.
Yeah.
And looking at the fucking Cowboys in there, it's disgusting. It's
The
Yeah,
Eagles
it is
realistically need to win
hysterical.
out to make the playoffs, and I don't see it happening.
yeah. Well,
Anyway, Baltimore wins.
Yeah. I don't. They're not. They can't stop Lamar. There's
the
no
Eagles
way.
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more wins. They'll be 10-6 this year.
But that's not good enough with the Vikings probably having 11.
I mean, what are the Cowboys doing? Lose this
Did
week.
you play the Vi-
And that doesn't mean that
Actually-
the Eagles will miss the playoffs.
did you
I'm
play the
saying
Vikings
neither
this year?
make the wild card slot. They have to win the division.
I don't think the. I think Cowboys might not win the division. Looking at their schedule,
Who do the Cowboys have going forward? I know they're done with the Giants this year.
let me go through. This week,
Uh,
New England,
Patriots and Bills in the next 2 games.
and then Bears,
The Cowboys are better than the Bills.
then the Rams, then the
Oh, and
Eagles.
they go to Philly.
Yeah,
I mean, that's gonna be the game that decides the division.
I agree.
it's gonna be that game. Yeah,
What was the? I mean, yeah.
it's
It'll be-
it's gonna be a hell of a end of the season for the NFC East.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, then they're gonna lose in the first round, but
Yeah, whoever ends up winning probably.
I don't think so. I think the Eagles can pull it off because they're the fucking Eagles. Who would we play? We would play the 49ers.
You would play.
Would
49ers
play-
or Seattle.
No, we would start with
No, I mean you'd be the 4 seed. You'd have to play.
Seattle. Or
Seattle.
Oh, or then yeah, whichever wild card team comes out of that division.
Seattle or Minnesota.
Oh, I think
No,
Minnesota.
because the Niners realistically could end up being a wild card team because of how good Seattle is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're only a game apart.
But what I heard today in an interview about the 49ers defense on third downs is that they get each of your linemen on a one-on-one thing and one-on-one matchup on third downs, and that's why they're so good on third down.
Yeah.
So if you have a weak spot on your O-line, I don't think the Eagles have one weak spot exactly on their O-line.
Well, the thing
So-
is, the reason that works so well is because one-on-one matchups with any offensive lineman on a passing down is offensive lineman. No, there are no weak spots for the Eagles, but it isn't about whether there's a weak spot positionally in terms of like talent at that position. The weak spot, as in there's extra space at some portion of
Actually,
the offensive line.
What they said then afterwards is that then they line up Bosa against the weakest spot on the
Yeah.
line, and they just
The
send
weakest
Bosa
spot
in.
isn't determined by which player occupies it. It's determined based on blocking packages. So if you see the side, Bosa lines up on the other because that's the weak side.
Yeah. And that's how
And
they do
it
that.
works. A 5-man rush on third and long is incredible when you've got 5 guys that can rush the passer, and
How
the
many-
Niners do.
What's their defense looking like? They have 8 with Eric Armstead. Okay.
The Niners defense?
Yeah.
They're the second ranked defense in the National Football League.
Yeah. How many sacks do
Behind
they
the
got?
Jets,
in total?
right?
Yeah.
No, Matt.
Wow.
What?
Really thought it was the Jets.
They've got. Oh, who's looking at the game right now? By the way,
I'm
Best
like
we watch
sort
it
of
when
passively following it, but
what's happening?
3-0 Texans with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Oh, it's
Jesus
over.
fucking Christ!
Yeah, it's low scoring.
What a Oh, and there's a big scramble up the middle penalty. Well, another penalty goes back. Jesus Christ.
Guys,
Well,
Harvard
I've certainly
Yale
said
on
plenty.
Saturday.
I feel like I've had my fill of football speaking today. So
We're done!